Makaveli Tu, Kick Thug Rock. This is dedicated to my girl Finna.
Still live behind the scenes on MKTV, and you're with your boy King Thug Rock Makaveli Tu. Like I was saying before, I want my people all over the world to be awoken to the truth and to the realities of our life and evolution and our history as a whole. We Africans are the only ones that have the right to tell history because we are the oldest beings on planet Earth. Even it's been scientifically proven, Africa is the oldest landmark on planet Earth. White people were in no way or form existing on planet Earth during the time of the beginning of all life and evolution. Only we, the blacks and brown skin tone, the melanin skin tone people, have been on planet Earth for 3.2 million years. And white people only came into existence when we gave birth to them 5,000 years ago. And this is scientifically proven as well. We are the only ones that have the Eve gene within our DNA that gives us the multiplicity of characteristics to be able to produce every other color and race out from our system. You know what I mean? We're the ones who gave birth to white people, the Mongoloid, the Caucasoid, the Asians, the Caucasians, Chinese, Arabs, whatever you want to call them. They all came out from us. You know what I mean? So we being the oldest beings, we are the only ones that should be telling our history to the world. And all these fallacies that religion and white people have brought into existence should be erased. You know what I mean? When they're telling stories about things that happen in Africa, they bring white people to tell our stories. It doesn't make any sense. Really, it's stupid. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm using my music to change, basically. That's what I represent. I represent the revolution. I represent the mental awakening of all my people in the diaspora, in America, all over the world. You know what I mean? This is what I'm bringing to the forefront. Things that a lot of so-called musicians and fake artists are afraid to talk about in their music. This is the things that I'm talking about in my music. Christianity is a lie. Religion is a lie. Islam, all religions are all fallacies because they are literature that was based on the fantasy of people who did not exist during the time that evolution happened and all life came into existence. You know what I mean? We are the first and the only true original gods and human beings on planet Earth for as long as we have been, before we gave birth to other denominations and Caucasians and Asians and Mongoloids and all other faces and races that came out from us, basically. You know what I mean? So I came to change all these the things that are not being taught in school. I'm teaching this through my music, and you know, this is what I stand for. It's what my ancestors stood for. People like Tupac Amaru Shakur, my first and most eccentric role model, you know what I mean, that I look up to. He's my number one inspiration. But you know, everything that he talked about, I represented in my music, and I'm bringing it to the forefront. And you know, a lot of people keep asking me why Makaveli Tu. Makaveli Tu is my name based on the fact that I carry the persona of Tupac and everything that his legacy represents. Excuse my words. Everything that his legacy represents, I represent that. You know what I mean? In my personality. Apart from the fact that I sound like Tupac and I rap like Tupac, I can also sing, which is unique to me in person. You know what I mean? This is a unique aspect of my personality. I sing and I sound like Chris Brown when I sing, and you know, it's just a gift that I have. You know, I'm very versatile in my artistic craft. You know what I mean? And not just that I sing and I rap like Tupac and I sound like Tupac and I carry on the revolution that Tupac represented when he was here on this planet Earth. Aside from all this, I'm also a music video editor. You know what I mean? All that I've done and achieved as an artist myself has been independently on my own with my own resources, you know, and also with the backup of my family, being in the person of my mom. Number one, she's been my number one financier, my backbone, my strength, my supporter, my record label, my umbrella, everything, you know what I mean, along with my siblings and myself. We've done it on our own ever since my dad passed away, you know what I mean, because basically we come from a rich family, and even after my dad passed away due to his drug abuse. Because when I was born in London, my dad was a drug dealer. Eventually, he was taking drugs that he was dealing with. He fell sick and got mentally ill and was abusive and violent to my mom in the marriage until they divorced. He went to jail in the UK for 5 years, and that was how he was just taking out the picture. From there, he was always coming into our lives and going and coming. He would be with us for like a few months and then disappear for a couple of years, then come back. That was how it was until he married a couple of other women, had kids with some other women, and that didn't work out. Eventually, he was really sick and passed away, you know what I mean? And his whole family took his assets, his siblings. They took riches and things that belonged to him that were supposed to be ours. They withheld that, and you know, that really put us through poverty, even though we're from a very rich home, because my dad, his father is the Eze and the king of the Diatomov local government in Imo State in Biafra land, which is the Igbo region in West Africa. It has nothing to do with Nigeria, because the Biafran people are an indigenous, independent nation on their own, despite all the hypocrisy and the political turmoil that's going on in that region of West Africa. You know what I mean? We hail from Biafra. You know what I mean? That's where my parents are from before they got married and went to London. Gave birth to me, gave birth to my siblings, my brothers, myself, my sister. You know what I mean? Now everybody's all grown. My big bro, he's married, he got kids. My sis, she's married, she got kids. Me and my younger brother, same thing too. You know what I mean? So it's just like that basically. We've been around the world. Me and my family, we're well traveled. I mean, from Biafra, being Igbo land in West Africa, we went to America. Before we went to America, we went to Jamaica, we went to Bahamas, we went to Mexico. Then we stayed in America and nationalized over there. Before going to Singapore, we came back to Africa, and we were here too for a couple of years in West Africa. We now went to Cameroon because my mom's mother is from Cameroon and she has a whole lot of relatives and family out there. So we went and we were there with them for a couple of years. We also went back to Ghana, finished school, and you know, though because of the instability of the cash flow during the time my dad passed away, we was in and out of school a couple of times, you know, but eventually, regardless of the, you know, negativity that was going on from my dad's family, we were able to pull ourselves up and become financially independent, you know what I mean? And I too, on my own, I formed my own record label, you know, independently without being involved in all the Illuminati and the negative bullshit in the record industry. I bought my own 4K HD Sony American Standard video camera. I started making my music video productions on my own. I started doing animations, you know what I mean? Aside from just writing my music and recording, there's so many things that I've been doing, you know what I mean? Staying creative and innovative as the black god that I am. And the number one priority that I've always had as an artist, as a musician, is to use my music as a platform for the mental awakening of African people all over the world, most especially in the diaspora in America, where I'm from, in Nigeria, in Biafra, in Ghana, all over the world. I use my music to touch people, to open their third eye, you know what I mean? Because people have been mentally enslaved with all this religious bullshit, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as Jesus Christ. Jesus is a fake fantasy that never existed, you know what I mean? Because these stories are the literature of white people. They wrote things based on their imagination and used it to mentally enslave people. They came to Africa, you know, they played Africa with colonialism and slavery, and on top of that they raped and killed a whole lot of black ancestors in Africa, and then they gave them the Bible with all those fake lies and fallacies and told them, you know what I mean, forgive one another, you know what I mean, so that people would be brainwashed to believe that it was a right thing that they did by coming to steal the resources of an independent continent on its own, being Africa. They stole the resources from Africa, went and developed themselves and became a first world class nation, being the West, whether it's America or Britain. This is something that they all were connected to. All these white people, the majority of them were connected to slavery and slave trade of Africans and the stealing of resources from Africa that left Africa in the impoverished way that it is today. And that's why now There's so much suffering there. I mean, people are fighting amongst themselves. There's political instability because everybody is now like forced to survive by any means necessary. They don't have enough resources to survive, so all everybody's doing is trying to survive at all costs. You know what I mean? And still white people don't want to correct all the wrongs that they've done in Africa. And on top of that, they want to still be writing the wrong narrative about African history. So it's time that we change all this negativity, make Africans proud of themselves and who they are, and have a sense of belonging. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm doing in my music, even if it takes just me doing it. One drop of water makes a mighty ocean. You know what I mean? And I'm the first one to change the world, just like Tupac said, because all these other musicians that are coming out here and claiming another man's fake imagination and tradition that was brainwashed onto our people due to mental slavery and killing and rape and murder of innocent black ancestry. Anyone who is representing that negative culture that was brought to Africa by white people from slavery is a hypocrite. All such people are fake, and I mean, those kind of artists don't need to exist. You know what I mean? So I'm here to squash all of those fake artists with my real revolutionary music, and that's what I'm all about. That's what I stand for. That's what I represent. That's why I'm the Black God, the California God in the flesh. I'm the second coming of Tupac, Makaveli Tu, right here live in the flesh, Westside King. Y'all know what time it is. All these fake niggas see me and they bow down because they ain't got shit to say. And that's real. I keep it real like that because that's what my nigga Tupac stand for. That's what I stand for. And I'm only about real life, reality. No fakeness, no fallacies. You know what I mean? It's about time that we correct the narrative for African stories, for African heritage, to give our future a better chance, you know what I mean? To give our generations a better future and a better chance at life. You know what I mean? It's time that they stop making Africans to think less of themselves. Meanwhile, white people borrow everything from our culture. They love our culture. They try to be like us. They see that our hair is naturally kinky and curly, and we have this natural beautiful dreadlocks and everything, and yet when they came to Africa, they forced a whole lot of people to shave their heads, and you know, they tried to demasculinize the African warrior class community. And now what is white people bringing to Africa? The only thing they're bringing is negativity. They're bringing homosexuality. They're bringing a whole lot of corrupted politics into the culture and into the main brain of Africa, and we are rejecting all of this negativity. You know what I mean? That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm here to squash all of the bullshit that's going on, to open our eyes and bring us back home in the mind. You know what I mean? Because once you have control of your mind, then everything in the world becomes a game to be played, and you understand your reason for being here. You know what I mean? White people love our culture. They love keeping dreadlocks like us. They love keeping cornrows like us. And yet, a lot of people here, because of the mental slavery and all the negative aftermath of what these people did to our communities, so many of the women over here are bleaching their skin. I mean, some of them, they wear these weave-ons and attachments, fake hair. I mean, how can people be buying fake hair to put on their head when naturally they already have beautiful African hair? You know what I mean? When you're born into this world, your hair comes on your head as your natural crown. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be tampered with, otherwise it wouldn't be there in the first place. You know what I mean? So all these things, it's based on the self-research and knowledge that me and my family accumulated over the years. I was able to come to this evanescence and euphoria of the mind. You know what I mean? And I'm here to also awaken my people to that level of mental advancement. And that's what's going to correct the mistakes and the negativities of the society and the world that we live in today. So keep tuned and make sure you lock in to youtube.com/MrDogRock, Westside Boys. Y'all know what time it is. A whole lot coming through. More content from me on my channel. You can also link me up on Facebook, King Dog Rock, Makaveli Tu, Westside Boys. And to all the legendary fallen revolutionaries who have been there before you, it's my pledge that I'm gonna make you proud. You know what I mean? I stand for everything that they represent. For people like Marcus Garvey, for people like Bob Marley, Tupac Amaru Shakur, DMX, even though DMX was still on the level of trying to come out of that religious sleep and matrix, still a lot of his songs were deep, you know what I mean? And I respect a lot of things that he stood for, you know what I mean? But still, we all have to come out of the plague of religion. Religion is a mental slavery. It's a cage on African society in itself. I've broken free from that cage, so I want all my people to be free from all of that fallacy and the fantasy of the bullshit thing called religion that has caused so much wrong and so much harm to the African continent. You know what I mean? So for people like Tupac, like I said, I'm gonna make you proud. Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey, Kwame Nkrumah, all of these dudes, Nipsey Hussle, this is what I represent. I represent for those who were there before me to make sure that their legacy means something for our generations to come. So watch out for more from me, King Thug Rock, Makaveli Tu, worldwide, American, California, African, God, physical West Side boss in the flesh. Y'all know what time it is.